In the meantime, let's switch gears to another Fox News alert. The Trump administration's new 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports going into effect at midnight while you were sleeping. And the European Union has responded with retaliatory tariffs on U.S. stuff.
Peter Doocy joins us live from the White House with more. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning. And yes, the White House North Lawn has become a row of embedded trade war correspondents. And the latest $28 billion in tariffs from the EU are mostly targeting red states, and things like motorcycles and peanut butter and jeans could all be affected. But things are changing very quickly. We saw yesterday, with very, very little notice, President Trump's threats actually managed to keep the lights on for 1.5 million customers in northern border states. And the White House explained to us after President Trump threatened to use his executive powers to retaliate with a colossal 50% tariff against Canada, Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Secretary Lutnick to convey that he is backing down on implementing a 25% charge on electricity exports to the United States. And Premier Ford explained his call like this.
I thought this was the right decision. They understand how serious we are. We have both agreed, let cooler heads prevail. We need to sit down and move this forward.
Wall Street traders are trying to make heads or tails of this new policy still. We saw yesterday the Dow was down 478, the S&P was down 42, the NASDAQ was down 32.
You're sure nobody here at the White House shorted the Dow?
No, I don't think so.
Is there any concern here that it's going to be harder to ask certain federal workers to retire if they look at their retirement accounts and they're getting robbed every day?
There's great indication to be optimistic about where the economy stands. His tariff policies, what he envisions is reciprocity, fair trade practices where American workers are put first.
And the American workers at Tesla got a big boost yesterday when President Trump had 5 Teslas brought to the South Lawn, and he bought one. He told me he was going to pay for it with a check, and when I asked him about a possible vanity plate, he said he might get one that says, "Truth." Back to you.
That's a good one.
Or MAGA.
Hey, so Peter, the president bought a Tesla. Do they have a level 2 charger there? And where are they going to put it? And which, he had a red, white, and a blue one. Which one did he buy?
It appears that he bought the red one. And behind the row of tents here on Pebble Beach, as they call it, on the lawn, during the last administration, we saw a handful of the electric car chargers installed on West Executive Place, which is between the West Wing and the Executive Office Building where most of the White House staff works. And so there is a place to charge it, and he says that he can't drive it, but he's going to basically just loan it out to staff who need a car for the day.
Yeah, he gave one to the granddaughter, too.
Yeah,
Kai.
he did, to Kai.
Donnie's daughter.
So it's just going to be parked out there outside of the White House, and staffers can use it whenever they want.
Peter, could you use it?
I would love to use it because the parking around here is terrible. So if I could just get like the little White House hang tag, I'm sure the dogs have to sniff it. But Mr. President, I need to do a Target run later. We're low on diapers, so it would be just very handy if I could
So
borrow
Peter,
the new
they'll
Tesla.
never allow a president to drive, even if it's just like around the White House?
I think Seinfeld drove.
I've seen it
with
happen.
Comedians and Cars with Coffee drove Obama.
And we saw, like Biden went to the Ford plant or the GM, and they let him drive one of the pickups there. And I remember he did do one loop here with the Secret Service officer in the car when they had the electric Jeep.
Oh, that's right.
And so it's not unheard of for a president to showcase electric vehicles on the South Lawn. I know that there was some talk about that yesterday. Right. We saw Joe Biden do the same thing, and he did do one loop on the South Lawn.
Well,
so
then maybe, Peter,
it's possible.
Maybe the president is watching right now, and he will pull up and take you to Target to get the diapers.
Yeah, President Trump, we would like the North Lawn. It's easier for us. It's a better shot.
Will he be in a garbage truck or a Tesla? Thank you so much, Peter.